3-0 versus 0-3. Will current form hold? We'll find out as we're off in Week 4.
And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. Jackson looking to throw right away.
He finds his man, complete. That's Townsend. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
You talk about this Washington defense.
And this unit, very tough to throw against, currently second best in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Jackson. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And he will get him down a couple yards shy of the first down marker. A nice tackle coming up from his free safety spot. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down.
Charles, their first drive of the game, and already they're taking chances here, but they get the 4th down conversion. I'm curious, do you think that that's something they game plan for on the opening drive if it came up, or is that something that happened organically?
I think that they game plan for it, Brandon, and when you think about it, let's just say it. The word analytics is a big part of how everyone looks at a game nowadays, but it's not just the analytics. It's a coach willing to be daring, willing to be bold, and they certainly were there.
So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
We changed it.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson.
And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home.
That's Daron Payne with a sack that time.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Hall. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted.
Picked off by Cameron Curl.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line.
The Commanders take over 1st and 10 at the 23-yard line.
Now a first carry here for Robinson. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
Well, this defense for the Ravens, they were very good in the victory a week ago over Cincinnati.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
2nd down, Howell back to pass. That's out wide.
And the ball is knocked out, and it's picked up by the Ravens. So a rocky start on both sides offensively. Turnovers exchanged.
I saw what you did there.
What'd I do? Rocky. 2 Rockies.
I saw that. I got it. And, and right now, they're carrying it around like they are wearing boxing gloves if we're going to have that kind of a reference. They've got to get it together and start playing a little bit better ball.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Remember last time out they threw the interception on their first drive. Good news, their defense backed him up, so it's still 0-0 here as they begin their second possession.
Yeah, and one great way to judge a defense, how do they handle what we call sudden change? When all of a sudden, you know, it goes against their offense and they have to run out in the field and try and put out the fire. Give this one great kudos for getting out there and not letting that interception lead to points. Excellent job by them defensively.
On second down, a run with Hall.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
On third down, Jackson.
Throw caught by Flowers.
And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. So first and 10 now from the 30.
On first and 10, it's Hall.
And he can only manage to get a couple. Second and 8 coming up.
The Ravens hit 3-0 here in the month of September. And they coming on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
And it's Washington that scoops it up.
And he gets it back into the end zone. It's a fumble recovery leading to a Washington touchdown. Will Lutz on for the point after.
It's good, and Washington will take a 7-0 lead.
Makes the score. Commanders 7, Ravens nothing.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kicks away following that fumble return. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis.
On second down, here's the option.
Down the numbers. There he goes.
He's on his way.
And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season.
And the Ravens are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. Jackson and the Ravens still on the field. They'll go for 2.
They'll try and throw for it. Being chased out left. And he'll get in. And they take an 8-7 lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Last time out, remember, they fumbled the football. That led to the touchdown. And, Charles, they were in the red zone, so that's a backbreaker. They got to try to pick up the pieces here on this drive.
Yeah, and I actually started to do the math here, so be patient with me. 12-point swing is the way I calculate it, because not only did they drop the ball in the red zone, they watched the opponent score a touchdown right after that. So their goal, have a drive here and try and get some of those points back.
Second down and 6 now. Al now to throw it. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Trenton Simpson.
And he'll bring this one back to the 29. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds.
Second down and 4.
Throwing is Jackson. Yeah, he's got it. Touchdown.
Breece Hall.
23 yards for the touchdown.
And the Ravens are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
John Harbaugh thought about it, and now his guys are going to go for the 2-point conversion. Jackson here, he's going to look to throw. He'll buy some time right. And this one incomplete. So they went for the 2, they don't get it. Well, split the difference, and they're right where they would have been with 2 PATs. They got the 2-point conversion the first time, they failed there.
Interesting, isn't it? Because the first time you go after your first score, that feels like a gamble. The second time when they tried it again, that felt like, what the heck, right? Because, as you said, even if you miss it, you split the difference, and you're right on schedule at 14 points.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control.
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by Trenton Simpson.
And he'll be down at the 6-yard line. Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here.
They'll run with Hall.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And a nice job to break free of 1 tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after.
Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Townsend. And in for the Ravens touchdown. From 8 yards out.
And the Ravens have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Jackson and the Ravens still on the field. They'll go for 2.
It's caught at the 1. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
He will return this from deep in the end zone. And not a good return here at all, as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver.
And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
And from the 34, here's 2nd and 4. Now Howell.
It's caught on the right side by Robinson. Short completion, just 4 yards. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made it.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far.
And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me, that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you've thrown this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown.
Breece Hall, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Ravens are able to widen their lead here in this first half.
John Harbaugh thought about it, and now his guys are going to go for the 2-point conversion. He's got it at the 2, so unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst, and if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
Now they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson.
And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
2nd and 9. Back to throw, Howell.
And a loose football. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 41-yard line. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Howell to the air on 1st and 10.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Howell looking to throw again. He's got his target. That's complete.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down.
Now, that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
And a dump off here to Robinson. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it'll be 2nd down.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there, because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. It's a loss of a yard, so they'll wind up crediting him with a sack, and it brings up 3rd down.
Well, there's your first ROI, right? Return on investment of their first-round pick. His first NFL sack, I know they want him to be an impact player right out of the gate.
A lot of pressure to put on a young man, but I think you agree he has the ability to deliver on it.
And he just did. Probably the first of many sacks in a long career.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1.
Well, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
And the Ravens are going to have it here just past the 25.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room.
The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup of someone trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too.
Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. Flushed out right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. He finds his man, complete. It's Townsend.
And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 35. Here's 2nd and 10.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. To throw again is Jackson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is a defense that's certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Now it's Jackson. And this is caught.
Driving for the goal line, but he's marked down short. And with no timeouts, no chance to get the field goal unit out there. And frustration going to set in, as that is going to be how this first half will come to a close.
Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon.
Washington down on the scoreboard, but they are getting the football first here, and we are back underway on EA Sports. Now this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
Off play action. It's Howell.
And it's incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Howell.
And now here is another interception.
Racing to the end zone.
And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. Justin Tucker for the extra point. It's up and good, and they're in control now, 35-7.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
And this is going to be a Commander's first down as he gets this up to the 24-yard line. Well, that ground game just continues to struggle to really get any momentum in this ball game, Charles. And, I mean, you're at the point here, 3rd quarter, down 4 scores, probably going to have to put it in the air.
Oh, no question about it. So that's your only chance, your only opportunity. But think of the pressure you just put on your offensive line, because if you're a pass rusher, you're not even thinking about them running the football. All you're doing is getting into that sprinter stance and going after the quarterback.
Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
Faking the handoff. Howell.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
And my goodness, another interception. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. I think it's safe to say this is a game he's not going to forget anytime soon, Charles. 3 interceptions.
It's rare that we see 3 interceptions by one team, let alone by an individual. And I think that after the second one, he's probably telling his teammates, any ball that's in the air is going to be mine. And that turned out to be true.
What a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. 48 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Hall again.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Now Jackson. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. And the offense moving quickly to the line.
Option play. Here's Hall.
He will push his way down to about the 14.
Tackle made by Chase Young.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
And the Ravens are going to be set up with a 1st and goal as good running gets him down to about the 4-yard line.
Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
Handoff, running left. Here's Hall.
And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Brandon, at some point, these defenders absolutely have to say, we've just got to make a stand. We've had enough of this.
Giving up a lot of points in this game, but looked better on that play. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal.
Out of the gun, they run it with Hall.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown.
Breece Hall.
His 3rd touchdown of the game and 4th on the year.
And the Ravens have taken a 5-touchdown lead.
Tucker with the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
But no run back here. Fair catch, and this will come out to the 25.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll.
Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Now they go play action with Howell.
Slings this deep from McLaurin. He's got it at the 15. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin, 58 yards.
And the Commanders are able to eat in just a bit to this sizable deficit.
Lutz good on the extra point, and that'll cut the lead down a bit to 28.
42. Commanders 14.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
Still comfortably on top, 3rd quarter as they start things here with a 1st and 10.
And he'll be taken down after a decent gain, and that will bring us to the end of this 3rd quarter play. Back now in Baltimore. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
They'll go again with Hall.
He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep...
There he goes, right side.
Now he's into the clear again. He may go.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown.
Breece Hall,
69 yards.
And the Ravens are going to be moving to 4-0 as they extend their lead.
Tucker now to add the point after. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Fair catch going to be taken, and this will be moved out to the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss.
Yeah, and he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
Dancing to his left. And now here is another interception.
Picked off by David Ojabo.
And he will not get all the way home, but he will take this back down to about the 2-yard line. Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here.
They'll try to run with Hall.
And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown.
Breece Hall taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Ravens add another 6 points to what's going to be a blowout victory.
Tucker now for the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead.
Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
He will return this from deep in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Howell, he'll look to throw it.
And my goodness, another interception. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it, Brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4. Fourth quarter, you've got the lead. You have to stay in bounds and run that clock. Coaches, that'll drive them crazy.
Sacrifice a yard or two if you have to. Just go down, in bounds, keep that clock going. It's almost like he was caring more about his fantasy stats than it was about winning the game. And that has to drive a coach crazy.
Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first. Looked like a pretty smart decision that time to keep the football by the quarterback.
It was, because you saw how the runner got swarmed. So you've got to pull the ball from his arms, keep it yourself, and get what you can. And the most underrated player on this play is the running back. Because even if he doesn't have the ball, he has to act like he does in order to attract the defense.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Now Tucker to add the PAT. And he's been a busy man. 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he returns this to the 22.
The Commanders take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. Oh, and that is well read defensively. A great job of setting the edge, and that little touch pass is going to turn into a loss. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
Howell throwing on 3rd down here. That is caught, and he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That gain on 3rd down, good for 28.
And the Commanders' 1st down.
Howell throwing on 1st down here.
That's complete to Robinson. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down at will.
1st down, Commanders.
And once more, Howell back to the air.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that will bring up 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Looking for Dotson, and he's got him.
And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens 14.
It's a gain of 20. 1st down, Washington.
Howell with one final shot.
And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go to each other in practice. Obviously, your training